Welcome back. Welcome back. So, going to get something to eat, having a profound gray Jedi talk with myself. Because I always seem to think of some of the craziest shit going on that we see in the world. And then I try to understand, certain people that have to participate in the shits, and then others. So today I was thinking about like Brazil or something because all these foreign countries keep coming up, and I deal with Spanish people living in my town. Well, I'm living in their town. Let me get that straight, cause they run shit here. I just live here. Anyway, and then it made me think of um I don't want to use the wrong word so the video can go out. Having to sell yourself, right? Because I was listening to a reading. That's what made me think of it. And it said that one of your enemies are idiots. And they got their little money up and they went to one of these nice exotic little islands and places over somewhere in South America. And they went and had the greatest time of their life. Fucking, slam dancing. But they got they got this Sunday surprise that came home with them. And they just finished themselves. So, it's one thing to get burnt in America. We know what diseases that are here, so they have medicines and stuff. When you get burnt from another country and then go back to your country, they don't have the same treatment. So, you might be fucked. You might have to go all the way back. But what if you don't have the money? Anyway, and then that led me to thinking of colonization, but not really colonization, just what, the results of everything is. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, that reminds me of the passport bros, like, in the black conscious, or not conscious, but the black YouTube community, and many other races of people, like, men. Like, men have been, like, getting mad at women and saying, I'm paying you, and other places are cheaper. And they do more for less, and they look better than you. Like, it's not new. And, I've always said, it sounds like a good idea because even the Bible, even the Lord has said many times, sometimes you gotta venture out there to get what you want, You're not always gonna find it where, find a good woman, find a wife. It's like a needle in a haystack. So you need the Lord's help. Anyway, so as I'm thinking about how, like, these men are going down there and sleeping with women that are beautiful, and they report their stories, and they're the most beautiful when I don't have to deal with you American women, you're 5. I'll go down there and waste the same amount of money on one of these women that look like models. They're better than models. They're better than the women they look better than Beyonce. They have her body, no flaws. They don't have to tan because they actually look like that. They don't have no breast reduction and no lipo and no BBL. No, every single part of her is real. And it's for $40. I said, whoa, that's fucking crazy, And I thought to myself, that's fucked up. Some of the most beautiful women in the world are stuck in places, And it's so fucked up that that's what they have to resort to. And then it becomes a culture and a lifestyle, so it becomes nothing. You know what I mean? It just becomes regular. It's like a fucking Sort of like what's happening in America, how everybody's wives and girlfriends keep leaving you for a nigga that got money, but come back to you when they find out that, they're not really getting picked. It's sort of like monkey branching. It's almost the same thing as prostitution, except, you kind of get in the house and stay there. In prostitution, you just get in the house. Unless you're like Pretty Woman, the movie, and then some rich guy lets you stay there. I can only imagine how many times that has happened already. Oh, God. Anyway, because when you tread in these waters, us supposed moral people, let's throw you Christians in there. All you fucking people, anybody, I don't care if you're Christian, Muslim, I don't care, anybody that thinks they have morality in their brain. Anybody that wants to call on Christ or even the Most High. Have you ever thought of that? That there's women out here, they're not even gonna ever even if they knew Christ, it doesn't matter. You get it? They know Christ. They don't know all they don't know everything. And maybe some of them know even the good things. But you know what they do know? They're starving and they need to eat. And nobody that believes in Christ walks around like Christ looking for people that need food. That actually can see, wow, that's a whole island full of women that literally it's become a joke around the world that they're prostitutes, because it's actually not a joke, it's real life. It's really just that. It's a meme that's been a meme before the internet. Before you were born. Before I was born. You know? You know? And it's like, this is why I thank my Father. This is why I tell you, everyone that can possibly listen or has listened, trust me, your life is good because you're listening. That means you're not, you're probably not going through these things. You're not in that situation. You're here where I am or somewhere in the world, and you're in a city. You're a sweeper, you're a fucking dishwasher, you're a waitress, and you're feeling like, I'm not the bad, I'm not fucking a superstar. You could be on one of these islands, you can be on one of these poor countries where people just take completely fucking advantage of you. And, you in your city, people are being taken advantage too, so, technically, you're super lucky. It's sort of like someone behind the scenes has a hand on you, and you're protected from the filth. Like what Commissioner Gordon said about Batman? He said he plunged his hand in the filth so I didn't have to. So we, the people of Gotham, can sleep at night. It's crazy. It's a very, because how do you blame somebody? Like, because the laws of, the Most High say don't do things like that. Don't give yourself away. But we're not even going to say men set it up to be this way because, it doesn't even matter. The country's not doing really good, so women want things like food and clean water, whatever. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter how. I don't care about how. See, everybody is still worrying about blaming. You need to know how something happened so you can fucking blame somebody. I don't care about who or what does things. I care there's a problem and my father made me able to solve problems. So do I care how problems get in the way? No, I care about not being able to solve the problem because other people don't want to do anything. They want to judge those people though, like Jesus at the well with the Jesus in the court with the woman, the prostitute, and they all gonna stone her. We're quick to stone these people and not even realize we're the reason they're there. Somebody in that town's, when Jesus said, put your fucking stones down, you don't think he was looking at like three of the men like, yo, I seen you with her last night, dog. Stop the bullshit. How dare you? I'll go tell your fucking wife right now and she'll stone you for the rest of your life. She'll break your balls for the rest of your life. You go back in your little corner, little man. With your monies. I got money. Remember, Bill? Look where that got you. It's sad, you know. It reminded me walking and thinking. I said, "Oh yeah, I guess that's why the Most High made you make that video about like porn stars and strippers and say, do any of them women really ever get a second chance? Because there are ones that chose to go there and blatantly don't give a flying fuck. They've let the darkness consume them." Now, my father still, he has grace and love, and, can't say they can't come home, but it's a choice. And when you fully engulf the dark side, it's hard to want to choose the light, period. The light starts burning your eyes. You're like, oh my God, it's light. I'm blind. I can't see over there. I know, because you're in the darkness. Sorry. Sorry. That's what, oh well. If I go on your side, guess what? I can't see in the dark like you could. You see the trade-off? Anyway, and then I showed the video of other men that are like me that show like statistics and other women that gave their stories and said, I got tricked into this. I don't have parents, and no one cared about me in my hometown and watched me suffer on the streets and ready to die, and then didn't realize your husband will pay me to blow him. How about that? And then I won't even do it. I'll just do it online, and then I'll have your fucking husband fantasizing about me and throwing me fucking money. I actually don't even got to touch him now. And now I want to get my revenge on everybody in town and seduce your husbands. Like the Pied Piper and the Little Rats. You didn't pay him, so he collected all your children and said, we're going down memory lane, baby. You see how fucking just leaving people to the wayside can come back and bite you in the ass? I think that's what Jesus was trying to teach everybody. He wasn't trying to teach them, just don't put the rocks down and walk away. I think he was trying to teach them, give her some money. And she doesn't have to visit your husband tonight. If all you put $10 together right now in that circle, I was gonna stone her, put 100. She's good for the month. She's good for 6. Well, back then she'd be good for fucking a long time. She could retire. Well, maybe not retire, but go have enough money to go get a job. One of you can give her, you can collect the plate up, like church, and then give it to her, and then she can have a couple months worth of rent, and then you just be like, all right, we got a job over here where you're gonna work over here now. You ain't gonna make the most money, but listen, you ain't gonna be that no more. Yeah, I bet you.